Welcome to the Life Career Roadmap YouTube channel. Today, my very, very special guest, Joan Delle Valle. Did I say it? Delle Valle.
Della Valle. You say it like Italians.
Is it not? It's not Italian?
It is Italian.
So tell me, teach me, how do I say your name? Then your
Joan Della Valle.
Della Valle.
Yeah. Della Valle.
So Joan Della Valle. Welcome, Joan, to the Life Career Roadmap.
Thank you for having me, Cema. I'm so grateful to be here and excited to chat to you. This is awesome.
Me too. And I know there will be a very interesting chat, full of great news. But Joan, as I normally do, I ask my guests to introduce themselves because they have this story. I'm here just hosting this space, and I'd like to ask you, first question, where you come from, where you have been before you come to Australia.
Okay. So as Cema said, my name is Joan Della Valle, and I was born in Zambia, and I migrated to Australia in 2001. 22
Wow.
years I'll be 22 years I'll be in Australia. So so prior to coming to Australia, I had a couple of years that I lived in South Africa, and then I went and said, okay, this is not for me. I'm gonna go back to Zambia and find where I need to be. And then here I am in Australia.
So let's go back in history, right?
Yes.
So in Zambia, when was the first time that you felt that you want to leave Zambia to live somewhere else? And despite you went to South Africa and came back, but what's the first moment in your life that you thought, maybe the grass is greener somewhere else?
Do you know what? It wasn't so much about the grass is greener somewhere else.
I had always... I want to explore. Let's make myself better. Let's explore. I want to explore.
It wasn't so much about the grass is greener somewhere else. For me, I had always known from a young age that my purpose was somewhere else. You know?
Yes, yes.
Yes. I had always known from a very young age. And I knew to say one day that time is going to come and, I will need to go seed somewhere else. There was a calling for me somewhere else. So, coming to Australia, I knew my purpose was bigger than what I actually knew myself. So I was coming knowing already what my purpose was. And I just had to keep on working and keep on finding the dots that were aligned for me, to be where I am today.
So you made everyone curious. You said you knew that you had the seeds, and you're just spreading the seeds to get the plants growing. Let's go back to Zambia then.
Yeah.
What you used to do in Zambia before you decide to migrate?
Okay, so I was just a person that used to go, obviously went through high school and, and then started working. I used to work as a receptionist, and then I used to work for, it was sort of like a cafe, and would send emails out for people, would help people, set them up on the computer, and they'll use the computer and stuff like that. So I had two jobs, and that's when in those moments I used to go, this is just a stepping stone of where I need to be next, So I would finish one job and then go in the evening and finish the other job. So, I'll work from morning until midnight. I was never a person that was like, oh no, life is like this. This is what I'm going to do. I can go back to my childhood. But I am never a person that, regrets what I had gone through, when I was a kid. I looked at all that as a reason for me to try harder, as a reason for me to find my purpose, and I think that's why I pushed myself so much. after I finished high school. I mean, I was one of those girls, even before finishing high school, during school holidays, I would actually work, and in most of the time in third world countries, you can't actually do that. You can't find a job, during when you're doing your high school. But I had to do that in order for me to put myself through high school, because I put myself through high school, and there's a bigger story behind that, why it had to happen like that. My father passed, when I was quite, still young, and I had a tough upbringing. So, I don't sit around and feel sorry for myself. I sit around and say, there was a reason for everything that happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well done. So I remember when I met you, I believe it was an event, a networking event for women brought by one of the business foundation or station. I cannot remember, at the Crown Casino.
Hey, you've been my sister too long.
Yes.
She can't even remember when we met.
No, I remember when we met. I didn't know the event.
She's been my sister for too long. You see, this is what happens when you become sisters for too long.
I remember the exact moment when you went in the room, and I look at you going through that door with a beautiful skirt, pink skirt, and then blue curly hair.
Yeah.
I need to meet that woman. I need to talk to her. For me, it was so impressive, so impactful, seeing a woman coming that way, entering the door with a big smile. And I was like, I went to talk to you and say, hey, hello. You were many women around you. I just in the middle of the women say, I need to talk to her.
Yeah, I need to talk to you.
And then I said, hello, how are you? I love the way you are dressing up. And then I said to you, we need to go for a coffee. And said, okay, here's my business card. And then everyone would come in and talk to you. I said, okay, I call this woman. I have a coffee with her. I didn't know who you were. I had no idea. I just felt the connection straight away.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like that. It was like that. It was just like two sisters, that met for the first time. Wasn't it?
For a long time away, if you're not knowing where we were, right? Yeah. And then I asked you the question, where all these colors and the freedom to show your style that you are so proud of came from. And then you told me that you had the dream of being a stylist. So yes. A fashion designer.
A fashion designer. Yeah, yes. And that's what brought me to Australia. I was initially going to do fashion and designing. However, when I came to Australia, I was like, oh, okay, this looks different when you're actually inside, And, my dream was always to have my own, clothing line, since I was young, I would take pieces and I'll make up, the outfit and stuff like that. So I always dreamt of having my own fashion line, and when you haven't traveled, to go overseas and, and actually get into school and see that it's actually different than what you thought. In your head, you're just like, I can do it. Yes, you can do it. So prior to coming to Australia, one of the other things that I kept on doing was I actually used to go to South Africa and I'll buy clothes, and then I'll come and resell those clothes. And sometimes what I'll do is, if I buy clothes, I'll actually, make it, create a suit, from this piece and that piece, and go into different offices and actually sell that. I loved that, absolutely loved that, loved fashion since I was young. So anyway, when I came in 2001, and I was like, okay, we can actually do fashion and designing, and the universe has a way of speaking to you. And I always say to people, listen, the universe is always talking to you. There will be something that is going to happen. And the universe is telling you, this is where you probably need to be right now in order for you to get where you need to get to. but most of the time we always argue with the universe. Oh, I can't. What's this happening? Why is that happening like that? Our stories have been written, have already been written. I always say that. I strongly believe that. So anyway, it happened that I needed to have my hair done. So when I needed to have my hair done, I was like, okay, I need to find a salon where I need to get my hair done, because back home, you get your hair done every week, So without me thinking about it, I just thought every salon that I can walk into, they can do my hair. So there I am, taking my hair out of, I had hair extensions, I taken my hair out, my hair was afro.
Oh.
It was up there. So I walk in the salon and I go to the girl, I say, I would like to have my hair done. She gets me into the chair. And the next thing is like, I'm hearing whispers, these people are talking among each other. I don't know that they don't know how to do my hair. So I'm like, why is it taking long? By now, somebody would have been washing my hair. So I'm like, okay, let me just sit and wait, So, they come, this one's looking, that one's looking. And I'm like, okay, this don't seem right. There's something not right here, So anyway, cut the story short, it took almost about 35, almost 40 minutes when they finally went, we can't do your hair. So in that moment, I was like, okay, hang on a second. I'm emotional. I want to cry, but then I'm like, don't cry, So then I just went, thank you. And I walked outside and I turned and I looked at that salon and I went and said, okay, they can do my hair, And it was in that moment, as I stepped out of that salon, I went, I don't want another person to feel how I felt, And for me, I have a different way of thinking. For me, I went, maybe what I need to do is actually hairdressing, no fashion and designing.
Well, aha moment for you there.
Aha moment right there, So I wasn't upset with the hairstylist. I was more upset that I also didn't do my own research to know if they could do my hair. But then also I went, thank you, universe. I have something that I need to do. And that is going to have a purpose to it. That is my purpose. You have just given me a purpose.
That's right. And that's what happens when you are an outsider, right? So you see things differently and you find solutions.
Exactly.
That people cannot see because they're so used to do the same.
Exactly. And I truly, honestly, I always truly say, I don't blame people when I meet people where they are. I don't expect them to know what I know. I have an opportunity now to educate somebody.
Yes.
So, in educating somebody, you have to try and put yourself in their position. Don't assume they know what you know. And that's how I've created my salon. And, I started my salon. It was a struggle, because I didn't have the money to actually start a salon, because when I started looking for an apprenticeship, I also did not understand to say, when you've passed a certain age, you're a mature, apprentice, and not every salon will take you on. So then what I had to do was to go build my own salon and employ myself, create a job for myself. So, instead of getting upset, with a few salons that I'd been to, and they say, we can employ you, I remember there was one salon actually that told me, what can we teach you? People like you only know how to braid hair. I said, no, I don't want to braid hair. You don't understand. What I need to know is how to do everyone's hair, And then she went, oh, no, sorry, I can't. I said, but what if I paid you?
You even offered to be there.
I offered, what if I paid you? I had about 3 salons that I offered, what if I paid you? And they still would not do it because, I could have been a liability. Now, Now, after when I started my business, that's when I started understanding all those things. And I was like, these are some of the things that people could not tell me. And that's why I don't assume to say they know. No, because I also didn't know I could have been, even if I paid them, I could have been a liability, because some of these spaces, especially with hairdressing, you can't just take somebody on. You actually need to have a qualification as an assessor.
Yeah.
Trainer and assessor, So it's, it took a couple of years, to start learning all these things. So now I do things better. Now I can do things differently.
So for how long have you been running the Ebony and Ivory hairdress?
So I started Ebony and Ivory 2003 out of my living room at home, which was amazing. And then, and because I don't like people coming my house is my sanctuary. Yeah. I worked really hard and, saved up a bit of money. And then I started in a small shop in Fremantle that was 14 square meters and a stairway, humble beginnings. I love that because, it's made me who I am today, and I started that. I was only braiding. After a couple of months, and in the months of doing that, I had all sorts of problems with the hairdressing board, because then we used to have a hairdressing board that used to look after the industry, and they were very strict. You had to be qualified to actually be, run a salon, so they would go to me, I need to have a senior stylist on board, otherwise they'll close me down, So then I went and said, no, you're not doing that to me, So I worked harder and harder, So sometimes I'll be in that little 14 square meters until midnight. Or sometimes I will have a sleepover because I worked so late and I'm like, I can't drive, I'm tired. But I knew why I was doing that. In order for me to be able to bring on a senior stylist that I can pay, I had to make that money. I didn't have that capital, for me to do that. So, as time progressed, I had to show the hairdressing board to say I was able to bring on a senior stylist. It was a struggle. It was really a struggle. I won't lie. But, I knew why I was doing it and I kept on pushing. I finally managed to bring on a senior stylist, and the agreement was whatever money they make, they take. And I worry about the expenses of running the salon, buying color, paying the rent, and all the overheads that come with the business. Yeah.
You took the risk.
I took the risk. Yeah. But I took the risk knowing no one else can do it but me. And those moments when I had those people that said no to me were moments that actually encouraged me to go, like, you gotta keep on going. You got to keep on going. And the question I kept on asking myself all the time is, Australia did not call me. I followed Australia. So for that reason, I have to make this work. Yeah.
That's right. Two things that you mentioned here. One, it's about taking the risk. You paid the bills to have someone that would help you to progress, but you took all the risks and all the financial risks in there, right? And it's maybe what people that don't know how to run a business, they see business as evil, but they don't know what we do as business behind the scenes to make the business a business. To grow and to employ people, or to provide a good service or sell a good product. There is a lot of investment.
It's a lot of investment.
And not everything is a revenue.
No. And you know what? You can go for years without making anything. People sometimes say, oh, the first year of you running a business is the hardest. No, it's not actually. It's the years that follow, because the years that come after, you have to keep on evolving. You have to keep on staying current, because if you don't, you start stepping backwards and you start going, what is going on? Like, COVID, even now, when we're speaking right now, COVID has changed the landscape big time. So there's a lot of evolving that I have to do, on myself, on the business. Do I shuffle, how the layout of the business of the salon looks like? Do I change this? What color products do I use? There's all sorts of things, because people are like, oh no, now I've got allergies. It's so many things that keep on changing all the time. There's so many risks in running a business. It looks beautiful on the outside.
Yeah. It's
but
like
there's a lot of work inside.
The romantic and sexy thing, say I'm a business owner, but then people don't know how sexy it is to run a business behind
the
scenes.
Yes.
They screaming is sexy.
Yeah. So, my dad used to go, he used to go to, Zimbabwe, he used to go to South Africa and buy products and then bring to Zambia to come and sell. And I was in primary school then, and he would give us stuff and say, take to your teachers and show them, this is, we've got this for sale. But you know what? I was a little businesswoman, even in primary school, and I knew the risks of taking certain things, especially with lipsticks when it was hot. I had to make sure that when I take those lipsticks, I need to sell it. I need to sell it. I don't need to go back with it home because when it's hot, it's going to start melting. So then, they used to call it used to be called magic lipstick, and it will be green. But when you put it on, it will turn red or it will turn pink or orange, So what I did is I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to put it on my lips. So I used to make sure I'll paint myself, I'll show the teachers, look at what it can do, and because the teachers don't want to see that on me, I was able to sell. So, so I was a little businesswoman from a very young age. I didn't know, I knew doing business is risky, is really, really risky. So there's never a day that's the same. And you know that. I know. There's never a day that's the same, and, for anyone, I suppose the only advice that you can give someone out there to say, don't go into business thinking it will look like the way you've seen somebody's business look on the outside. There's a lot of work. Get yourself a mentor. I always say this, be prepared to have yourself a mentor. That's right. Don't ever do, business or whatever you're trying to do in life without having a mentor. Yeah.
Right. And the other point that you touched there also was the fact that you decide to come to Australia. And as many other newcomers are coming to a new country, expecting the country to give you everything that no. Because you just came here.
Yeah, so, no.
Tell us more about your perspective about this.
You see, as I say, Australia did not invite me. I invited myself.
Mm-hmm. So, as long
as I invite myself, I got on that plane. No matter how you got here, you got on that plane by yourself, and even if you came with your parents, you got on that plane with your parents. I wanted a better life. That's why I ended up in Australia, so I don't expect Australia to give me anything on a silver plate. I know for sure that everything that I need to have in my life, I need to work for that. I need to earn that, and I need to be respectful of whatever, laws that are found in this country and do things by how the laws are, so it's never a country's fault that, I can't get a job. If there's a job that I want, just like what I did, I went and created it.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Of opportunities.
opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities. So if there's something that you want to do in life that you can't see, if you can't see it in Australia, but you think there's a lot of opportunities with what you want to do, and it can create job opportunities for other people. And that's a thing as well that I always say. I said, never do something in life just thinking about yourself. You have to think about what legacy are you actually building. How many people can you actually help with the legacy that you're actually creating?
Yes, and that's normally what I say to my mentees. The profession that you choose, and it's not just about you.
It's not about you.
People that you can help.
Exactly.
How you can help through your skills, how you can contribute to this organization to provide a better service, a better product.
Exactly.
And normally, people are so afraid of being called salespeople. But then I explain to them, everyone sells something.
We all sell something.
Because even if you are cleaning toilets for a business, you are selling a clean toilet for that.
Exactly.
People that can go to the toilet and have like, oh, it's not disgusting. So this is part of the sales, and people think that they don't have anything to do with sales.
Yeah. But why? That comes from either not having courage or thinking it's beneath you. You know? So if you think that is beneath you, then you got to do something that is going to be in your caliber. I cleaned people's houses when I came to Australia. I cleaned, hotel rooms. Some of them could be filthy. I worked in nursing homes. I've done it all, but there was never a moment of regret of doing that. There was only the moment of, this can get me somewhere. If this is what I have to do to pay my own school fees, and mind you, I was paying my own school fees, international school fees when I came. So, so for me to be able to get, to go to college and have a living, you had to do something. There's nothing that is beneath you. And you know what? Every job is a respectable job, no matter what it is. We need cleaners. We need people that look after people. Everybody needs each other, no matter how you look at it. That toilet of yours stays the way it is without blocking up because somebody is looking after that toilet somewhere at the end of it. Right. So
the everyone involved.
Exactly. Everybody needs each other. We all balance off each other. We are all connected somehow, no matter how you look at it. People say, oh no, no, I don't associate myself with those class of people. I'm sorry. No matter where you are up there, you need those people. Because without those people, you can't be where you are, And, having come from a third world country, I used to watch so many times, we used to put so many people on a pedestal, So when people become wealthy, you treat them a certain way, Yeah, exactly. When a person is of a certain color, you want to treat them a certain upper way, you put them on that pedestal. And I used to always say, I said, I don't want to put nobody on a pedestal, because without me doing that other job, that person wouldn't be where they are. Without me voting for that person, they wouldn't be in that seat, So we are all human beings. If I treat another person as a human being, then I won't have a problem doing any job that I can do to actually survive.
That's right. So, and you have been building your brand as Ebony and Ivory. So not just as hairstyle, but also in moving towards masterclasses, helping
Master
people,
classes.
masterclasses and diversity and inclusion, and also bringing the happiness to children and bringing them to the movies. So I would like you to talk more about your entrepreneurship that you are bringing with you, bringing your legacy to other fields, stepping out of now your comfort zone that is hairdressing. So, and then moving to something that is new, out of your field, but doing very beautifully. So tell us more about first Ebony and Ivory Masterclass that I was part of for the first one. It's much pleasure.
You
An
were there,
honor.
Cema. You were there. You
I
were
was there.
there. She was my moderator. Oh my God, she did a phenomenal job. This woman is amazing. And she moderated that, So, as I said, when I stepped out of that salon and how I felt, and I went, I don't want another person to feel like this. I knew starting here, Ebony and Ivory was the foundation of so many things, and I knew that I needed to create a space that was diverse and inclusive. Yeah. So over the years of listening to clients as I sit in my chair and, just listening, to people having fear of attending certain events and all that kind of stuff, because I'm one of those people. I don't care if I step in a room if somebody's talking to me or not. If I've gone there to listen to a message that I want to be inspired, inspired by, I will walk in that room. I'll buy my ticket, I'll take myself there and go get that knowledge and then walk out a happy person. Yeah. So then I said, okay, I am so blessed to listen to so many of my clients share their stories with me. As you know, hairdressing is a beautiful space it's a grapevine of stories. Beautiful. You hear all sorts of stories. So then I went and said, okay, I need to create a space that is outside the salon where I can actually invite certain people that inspire me, and I can get them on the platform and people can listen to them without having any fear, and that's how I started the Ebony and Ivory Masterclass. And it's been beautiful. It's been a beautiful journey. The first launch of it was actually in 2015. And what I did with that was I actually did a stage of doing a makeover transformation. How do we help you evolve from just being ordinary to being, I am going to go ask my boss for that pay rise? How can we help you?
And the courage.
How can we give you that courage? So I started it like that. And, over the years, I went and said, okay, we can make this even more better. And then 2019, we relaunched it. And and it's been going good. Obviously COVID gave us a little bit of a break, but we've been going, we back. And we'll be doing great things, with it. As I said, it's a space that is diverse and inclusive. So, I believe we all have a story to share. Mm-hmm. And I don't care what industry you come from. We want to see you in that room. That's what that platform is about.
And you do something very special during school holidays when you get young kids to come and have the experience of being a hairstylist in your
salon. It's actually do it throughout the year.
Oh yeah, I thought it was just school holidays.
I do that throughout the year because you know what? I believe hairdressing has a lot of layers to it that can inspire a child to see more within themselves. Mm-hmm. So I use hairdressing as a foundation to empower young people, and through that, then we see so many layers to them, and we see how they find out something amazing about what they can achieve, So, obviously the workshops usually have a lot of sessions to them, we mostly start off with, mindfulness, we do meditation, and then we go into, let's talk about you. We want to know you. And then we go into using, hairdressing. I'm like, okay, be creative, become an artist, because hairdressers, we are artists, and we always collaborating with our clients to achieve something. So helping the kids to find that artistic side to them helps them find something amazing, helps them find something amazing about themselves. So it's a very special, those are very special workshops. And sometimes I'll use a movie screening as a way of helping them, to find their own light. And it's empowering, absolutely empowering, and humbling, very humbling.
Yes, because when they become a hairdresser for a day, they work, despite they use their hands to work in someone else's hair, they see themselves, what they want to produce, right? And is the connection with themselves and knowing, and the work with hands are very powerful. Because it's the touch, the sensation that you, and the visual that is there, that you wanted to produce something. And I remember my sister, she had a dream. My mom was a hairdresser too. So she had her salon, but at a point in time, she got so much allergies for the chemicals. And by that time I was young, little. So imagine chemicals they used to add
they used to use.
And then she got very allergic too, but she had the salon. It was nice to go there and have the hair done, and then having the drying out the hair with the big ball at top of the head. And my sister, she ended up doing dentistry, because her dream was to be a hairdresser, because she loves working with hands. And
there you go.
But the thing is, that time back home in Brazil, hairdresser was not a profession to someone need to go to university to do something, right? It was looking down. And then she went to do dentistry. But then after doing a PhD and everything, she realized that she loves helping others, and especially with numbers, right? She's now doing a master's to help women to understand their finances and be independent financially.
How amazing is that? How amazing is that?
And she's just reinvented herself at 57 years old.
Yeah, you see, and that's the thing. There's never an age where you can't evolve.
Yeah,
people put a time, a age on themselves to say, I have to stop at this. Who say that? Why are you doing yourself? Why are you stopping the clock when it's not supposed to stop? And just as you were saying, to say your sister would have loved to be a hairdresser. One of the reasons I actually went, I'm going to do hairdressing, because back home hairdressing was considered as a job for people that are not educated.
That's right.
They looked down on people that were hairdressers. But what was missing behind that was the education to say, you actually help so many people. We are one of those industries that are so blessed, that can go up to just touch someone's shoulders, and you can help them just open up, and they can just relax. It is such a wonderful job. And I go to people, I said, don't look down on hairdressers. Don't look down on choosing a trades career, because with that, you can help so many people, and people would just go, I can trust my hairdresser. Oh my God. We're more than therapists.
Yeah, you listen a lot.
We listen a lot. You know what? It's like this. When you go to your beautician, you can't even talk that much. Or when you're having your nails done.
Making out, like doing makeup, you cannot say much, right?
You cannot say much. When you're having your nails done, you don't want to talk that much, because the chemicals are, you don't want to open your mouth that much. But with a hairdresser, you sit there and you just have those moments where you just relax. You just be yourself, and this is why I even, connect all these other spaces, because I know from the hair salon, There's so many layers that we can find a way of helping so many people.
That's right.
And I absolutely love my job. And I always encourage so many people that are coming from a third world country, said, don't ever overlook hairdressing, because back in most third world countries, there's no training schools. But if you get into a country where you can actually go and do my hairdressing was 4 years. I did a 4 years apprenticeship, which, should have been called a degree. But I'm okay with it being called a certificate, because what I get out of it is more than a doctrine. It's just beautiful. It's like every day I get to learn something new. Because every day when I with my clients, new or old clients, there's something new that I am learning. Yeah. So
Wow, and tell me, you are always evolving and bring new things to the atmosphere. So what is in the pipeline, Joanne?
What's never in the pipeline?
Is something secret or something that we can share and get people
never in the pipeline. That walks around with blue hair. Yeah. You know what? As you said, I always believe in evolving, because I don't know. I don't have the control of when the time will stop. I don't have that control. And as long as I don't have that control, I believe the time that I've been given, I need to evolve with it, and I need to make use of it in a very productive way. So there's always something exciting in the horizon. Obviously, the biggest purpose is making sure that, the masterclass gets bigger, and, making sure that, we help more kids find their own light in this world. And hopefully, my dream has always been able to, be able to help so many young people in a third world country, do a bit more hairdressing training, cosmetology, in that space. And we just keep on evolving. We just keep on evolving and collaborating with more people like you, Cema.
We have a good team. We have a good team together that we go along and help each other. And we are even like doing event and doing all the cleanup after the event. No one expected us to be with the vacuum cleaner around the tables. And
we got music going, and you know what? And just the love of helping people to find their own light, because, our time in this world is just but a minute. So if this time that we've been given, if we can help people, people that are coming as migrants in this world, in this country, if we can help one or two people find their own light, then, our job is done. So, that's why we're here. We here to evolve.
That's right. Yeah. So, Joanne, tell me, if someone is outside of Australia right now and listening to this conversation, what kind of suggestions or advice would give to this person who has a dream of moving to another place? Anything that would help this person to have a better understanding of the journey of a newcomer?
Do you know, the thing that I would say is, first of all, try and find your purpose. It's not easy, but try and find it. And secondly, stop listening to so many noises, because people, they talk too much, know why you are doing it, and do it for you before you do it for anybody else. Because if you're going to go, if your thing is going to go to another country so then you can help your family, don't do it. Because you will keep on doing it for other people before you can do it for yourself. You'll burn yourself out. So remember, the first person you have to do it for is do it for you. If you get given an opportunity, for people that are blessed, that will get given an opportunity by their parents and they'll send you overseas, grab that opportunity and do it for you. Don't say, because my parents sent me here, that's why I'm here. Just think about it. Why, as the universe, made it possible for me to be in another country instead of my own country? Yeah. And also, don't forget to look at what is around you, where you are. Sometimes your purpose is even bigger in the country where you are. Don't run away from it. If there's opportunities that are showing up, grab them, work with them, and see where they take you.
Wonderful. So, and it's for someone, another advice or suggestions for someone who is in the country now, in Australia, or even in a different country, and looking to find themselves, to find their feet, but they are not quite there and they don't know where they are at or how they can get what they want. What advice or suggestion would you give to them?
Find a mentor. Number one, find yourself a mentor. You know, I wish when I was coming, I had so many mentors. I mean, I was blessed. I did have mentors back, you know, my former boss was an incredible human being. He was Italian, and he was one of the first people that told me when I was in South Africa, what are you doing here? You're not making any progress. What are you doing here? You know, what are you running away from? So go have a think, and then go back and then think about where you want to be, because it seems you're just running away from something and then you're not doing anything where you are, you know? So find yourself a mentor that will tell you the truth, you know? Be open to be criticized. The best way to learn, you know? Surround yourself with people that will tell you the truth and not just sugarcoating things. Because you know what, you keep on walking in closed doors, and boom, you know.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. Find yourself, organizations that can help you, you know. And sometimes we feel I cannot associate myself with other people from different countries. But, you know, the reason we leave our countries is so then we can network and collaborate with other people from so many different countries. Yeah. So, yeah, invest. But most importantly, find yourself a mentor that can help you get in the right path. Invest in them. Invest in yourself. Yeah. Very, very important. Yeah.
The other thing that I know that you quite like is making fritters. You love cooking, right? And sometimes you sell them to help kids to get something in the masterclass or going to the movies. So tell me more about what is your favorite dish back from Zambia that you miss, and if you make it here or not.
Fritters.
The fritters.
Fritters is one of my favorite dishes. Fried chicken too. You know, I love fried chicken. But you know, no, fritters, you know, there's a connection with me and fritters. You know, fritters is what made me finish my high school. Because when I used to make that and sell that to pay for my school fees, you know. So I have a very strong connection with my fritters, you know, and that's why when I make them, I have so much joy in me. And, you know, when I'm gifting, you know, after we've sold them, it's just like so joyful, because I'm like, I've just made someone's life a little better, you know. And when I make them and just give them to someone to eat, I give them with so much love, because, you know, of the connection I have with them. Yeah, so that's fritters. But don't forget about my fried chicken.
Yeah. I need to get there. out there, if you want to help Joan with her events, she is always keen to receive sponsorships to her events. They are well prepared, well developed, and they have a purpose to help others. So if you want to be part, you put Joanne's contact details as her website, and then you can contact her and see all the amazing events she runs in the community, helping others. So you can be part of. So come and enjoy and join the events as well as a sponsor. It would be wonderful.
Yeah.
And tell others how wonderful she is and how great things she does in our community, helping others, and very genuine too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. As we said, we everything that we create, we never create it, just for us. I don't believe in that, because I believe the reason I was put on this planet, the reason Cema was put on this planet, is for us to help each other. And even if I call it's my business, it's for everyone, there's always someone we can help, through what we do. And as I love this quote by Maya Angelou, the late Maya Angelou, I come as one, but I stand as 10,000.
Stronger. So, Joanne, wonderful, this one. I love it. My curiosity for us to complete this session is where the name Ebony and Ivory comes from. Where did you get this idea of putting these two beautiful names together?
I wanted a name that everyone felt they belong in that room. Yeah, so when they say Ebony and Ivory, he's just like,
yeah, it's a very strong and very intriguing. So you want to see them.
Yeah. I know some people say, did it come from the song Ebony and Ivory? I said, no. Do you know what Ebony and Ivory means? We'll leave that for people to think about. What does Ebony and Ivory mean? Because the minute, and I could have gone with my name. I could have gone Joan Dalavalai. It sounds beautiful, it's like it just falls off your tongue, But then, Ebony and Ivory, you just feel like,
it's a place where I want to be. As my son used to say when people would come to see, this is the mom's transformation chair. So you have your own transformation chair.
Yeah.
When people come and they sit down and they leave that space with fulfilling that they have got what they wanted. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Joanna, my big pleasure. I call you Joanna as you call in Portuguese. Joanna.
Yes. Joanna.
No, it's Joanne. Thank you very much for coming tonight and having this chat with me. I feel so blessed for having you in my life and having these connections that we laugh a lot when we are together.
We do. That's why we keep on looking younger every day.
Yes, that's right. So we laugh a lot. We see good things in everything that we do, and we want to do more. So thank you very much for being part of my journey and for coming to this video cast. Okay, you can say YouTube is a video cast, and then I feel so privileged. So thank you very much.
No, thank you, Sis Cema. I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful to have been here chatting with you. And I'm grateful that I was able to share something, and hopefully, we can help someone along their journey. And I can't wait to do more. Call me. Just if you can't find me, just go to Sister Cema and say, where's that woman with blue hair? I always have blue hair, so you can't miss me.
That's right. And I suggest you to follow Joanne. Also, she's in all platforms. You can find her, right? On social media. So she's on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on TikTok. And are you on YouTube too or not?
No, actually, YouTube is the only one that I'm not on.
Well, we need to do some work on it.
I know. Amazing. It's like YouTube is the only one. I don't know what happened there. I just haven't given it that much thought.
Well, maybe you
Yeah,
need to
but
start thinking about how you can teach. You can teach
yeah,
kids how to think about themselves through their hair.
yeah, I know. Yeah, so yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting that YouTube. I tried, but I just never followed it through. I started because we had a moment where I was doing makeovers for people.
Mhm.
That's another topic for another day. Yeah. So, but yeah, I've never. Yeah, but you can find me everywhere. You find me
Everywhere.
on TikTok. Oh, we need to do a dance video. We haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah.
Haven't done that in a long
You
time.
are the dancing queen. Wonderful. So, Joanne, thank you very much
No,
again.
thank you. Thank you. I love you so much. And thank you for always being a light among us and for sharing your light in this world. We are so grateful and thankful for what you're doing. And keep on doing what you're doing. We'll always be behind you.
Oh,
And
likewise, we are together. Not behind,
yes.
not side by side. So thank you very much for watching this conversation, a very genuine and very happy conversation with Joanne. And remember to subscribe to the channel. Just click on the little bell and then you get all the notifications about the premieres, because I'm sure you love this one too.
Yeah. Subscribe.
Subscribe. Do your
Subscribe.
part. Yeah, I'm doing
You better
mine.
subscribe. You might be getting something, because we like gifting too.
That's right. So see you next, and bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.